Yes, the U.S. economy continues to move in the wrong direction, Michael Snyder reports. Despite so much evidence to the contrary, the Biden administration continues to insist that the U.S. economy is on the right track. But is that really true? Thanks to the Federal Reserve, interest rates are now much higher, and the money supply has been contracting at the fastest pace since the Great Depression. As a result, large companies have been conducting mass layoffs, the housing bubble is imploding, the economic activity is rapidly slowing down all over the nation. But if you ask Joe Biden and his minions, what we're witnessing is all part of the plan. In fact, they continue to speak of Bidenomics as if it's a good thing. Monday's announcement is part of Biden's greater push for his economic plan dubbed Bidenomics, which is rooted in the simple idea that we need to grow the economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down, done in Donald wrote. The president's economic proposal includes plans to hike taxes on the uber wealthy and corporations in order to subsidize social, climate, and health programs. I'm not buying what they're selling, and most other Americans aren't either. According to one recent survey, well over half of all Americans disapprove of how Biden has been handling the economy. More than half, 54% of Americans disapprove of how Biden is handling his job, while just 35% of respondents approved of his stewardship of the economy, according to the Reuters Ipsos poll conducted earlier this month. Those figures are a bad sign for Biden and his fellow Democrats. Of course, Biden is not responsible for the stunning reversal in money supply growth that we have been witnessing. The money supply has been steadily shrinking since late last year, and during the month of April it actually contracted at the fastest pace that we have seen since the Great Depression. During April 2023, the downturn accelerated even more as YOY year-over-year growth in the money supply was at minus 12%. That's down from March's rate of minus 9.75% and was far below April's 2022 rate of 6.6%. With negative growth now falling near or below 10% for the second month in a row, money supply contraction is the largest we've seen since the Great Depression. Prior to March and April of this year, at no other point for at least 60 years has the money supply fallen by more than 6% year over year in any month. It's important to understand that the economy does not immediately respond to changes in the money supply. There is a lag. In other words, it takes time for the effects to filter through the entire system. But we're already starting to see some very troubling signs. As I've been documenting in recent weeks, large companies have been conducting mass layoffs all over the country. Just a few days ago, Ford added their name to the list. Ford Motor Company is planning to lay off a minimum of several hundred salaried employees starting as soon as next week, the Detroit Free Press has learned. The action will be limited to white-collar workers in North America, perhaps just the United States. And we're starting to see initial claims for jobless benefits move higher. In fact, Zero Hedge is reporting that we just saw the highest number in almost 2 years, jobless benefits. 264,000 Americans filed for jobless benefits for the first time last week, the highest number since October 2021. California, New Jersey, and Connecticut saw the largest jump in initial claims as perhaps the tech layoffs are starting to register as severance packages run dry. Meanwhile, U.S. home prices continue to fall as the housing bubble 2.0 continues to implode. And the following comes from CNN. U.S. home prices fell in May at the largest annual rate in more than a decade, according to a National Association of Realtors report released on Thursday. The median existing home price was $396,100 last month, down from 3.1% from a year ago, marking the largest year-over-year price reduction since December 2011. But don't worry, Joe Biden says that everything is going to be okay. You believe him, don't you? The commercial real estate crisis is also continuing to grow. According to the Daily Mail, experts are calling it a debt time bomb that has the potential to absolutely devastate our financial system. Commercial real estate has become a debt time bomb, experts have warned, as office towers remain empty in once bustling cities. The new era of remote work means zombie workplaces remain vacant, while higher interest rates make it more expensive to buy or refinance the buildings. Of course, the overall economy is steadily deteriorating, and it's been for quite some time. At this point, the Conference Board's index of leading economic indicators has now fallen for 14 months in a row. And it isn't just the US that's slowing down. According to Yahoo News, the Chinese economy is also losing momentum. China's consumer-driven recovery is showing more signs of losing momentum as spending slows on everything from holiday travel to cars and homes, adding to expectations for more stimulus to support the economy. Domestic travel spending during the recent holiday for the Dragon Boat Festival was lower than pre-pandemic levels, according to official data released this weekend. Home sales figures are below the level in previous years, while estimates for June car sales showed a drop from a year ago. So what does all of this mean? What it means is that we are clearly moving in the wrong direction. The American people clearly understand this, and that is why Joe Biden's poll numbers are so dismal. But we should be thankful for one thing. Economic conditions are still at least somewhat relatively stable, but the current state of affairs will not last indefinitely. Much bigger problems are on the horizon. So enjoy these troubled times while you can, because it won't be too long before this economic crisis becomes far more severe. This is by Michael Snyder. He says about the author, "My name is Michael. My brand new book entitled End Times is now available on Amazon. In addition to my new book, I've written 6 other books that are available on Amazon, including 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters, commissions earned. When you purchase any of these books, you help to support the work that I'm doing, and one way that you can really help is by sending copies as gifts to family and friends. Time is short, and I need help getting these warnings into the hands of as many people as possible. I've also started a brand new Substack newsletter, and I encourage you to subscribe so that you won't miss any of my articles. I've published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the Most Important News, and the articles that I publish on those sites are republished on dozens of other prominent websites all over the globe. I always freely and happily allow others to republish my articles on their own websites, but I also ask that they include this about the author section with each article. The material contained in this article is for general information purposes only, and readers should consult licensed professionals before making any legal, business, financial, or health decisions. I encourage you to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, and any way that you can share these articles with others is definitely a great help. These are such troubled times, and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you haven't already done so, I strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. And this is by Michael Snyder on the Economic Collapse blog. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.